Today we're going to be taking a trip back into the past, back into the 90s, back when Trendmasters was absolutely reigning supreme with their Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla Wars sets. As a 90s kid, Trendmasters was essentially my introduction to Godzilla toys. I don't believe Bandai America was making their figures yet. If they were, I wasn't aware of them. And getting anything from Japan at that point in time meant you had to go to a hobby shop, and at that point in time, I had no idea who, what, where those things were. But enough of the build-up, let's just start talking about this thing. Up first, I just want to take a look at the collector card that all these Trendmaster sets came with. This is for Godzilla vs. Rodan, the very set we'll be talking about today. And the Trendmasters art was always just top of the line stuff right here. The way they were drawn, the colors that were used, just over the top, so very fucking cool. On the back of the card, we're going to have a read up on Rodan. You can pause to read that if you wish, because I just want to get this stuff done and out of the way now. Now, for anybody who wasn't here during the beginnings of Rob's Godzilla Room reviews, I actually reviewed this set while it was still in the box. Now, I didn't take it out of the box really by choice. The glue was starting to fail, the whole plastic case was starting to bend outward, so I said, before this gets ruined, let me just take it out of the box myself. Got some more fantastic artwork of Godzilla on the back over here. And then as you move further down, you're basically just being told what comes with this set, what it's going to do, and all that stuff. And you know, not for nothing, these micro battle playsets really did come with a lot. And here we can see promos for the two other sets from this line. Paint, details, Rodan sliding down on a string. It's all here. Now, before I move on any further, I just want to say that there are two lines of the micro battle playsets that completely coincide with the other two major lines that Trendmasters was putting out at the time. The King of the Monsters line and the Godzilla Wars line. This is part of the King of the Monsters line, and the rest of the releases under the KOTM line were Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah in San Francisco, go figure, and Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in Los Angeles. While the Godzilla Wars sets featured Godzilla vs. Biollante in Washington, D.C., Godzilla vs. G-Force in Mecha King Ghidorah Central Command, and Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. All of these little sets are just really, really freaking cool, and the Godzilla Wars sets, I think, were even better. The King Ghidorah, the Mecha Godzilla, and the Space Godzilla, whether they were completely folded out or completely folded in, they just looked so very cool. And of course, there were two Godzilla 1998 micro battle playsets. There was the Terror at Times Square and the Battle at the Brooklyn Bridge sets. I'm not sure if these were widely released or just released in very limited quantities, but they exist and they look pretty dang cool too. Alright, we're all done with that. Now let's take a look at Rodan's cave. Just look at this. Trendmasters was always ahead of the curve with their paint and detail. Rodan's perch up here has bats, a spider's web, a big old spider. Might be Kumunga, I don't think so, but hey, imagination. And here we have the bottom of the cave with lots of detail and some minimal paint going on there. And speaking of which, a closer look at this part of the cave, it's just nutsoid looking, bro. Speaking of which, this Rodan figure is very, very small. But when you take a closer look at it, the amount of paint and detail on this little Rodan is just insane. Granted, not all of it is picture perfect, but just the fact that we have painted on teeth, eyes, his little thorns on his belly, his toenails, even a variation of paint for the membranes of his wings. This is just extravagant, I tells ya. The back of the figure is a little less impressive, but just the fact that all of this is painted too is just, oh, big top to you, Trendmasters, truly. I wouldn't mind if Bandai did a Rodan variant with this kind of color scheme to him. Taking a look at the other side of Rodan's cave and perch, we can see some bones, some more nice, like, deep inner cave looking details here. And then over here we have the ocean. This is a clear piece of blue plastic, so you can kind of see what's going on down there. Obviously it is removable. We'll do that right now. There we go. Just to take a closer look at this, yes, this is very basic looking, but just the fact that it has this nice swirly detail on it and everything, this is impressive. It is. I don't care what anybody says. I'm impressed. Look at how it shines. And under all that, we have a giant octopus, a shark, a skeleton, and what looks like an underwater lake. Oh, you know what that probably is? That's probably a trench, not a lake. How the hell would there be a lake underwater, Rob? Come on now. Oh, we're just going to toss that back in there. All right. So now, focusing on Godzilla's side of the playset over here, we have a bunch of buildings. Godzilla's in New York City. This was before Godzilla 1998, so I guess Trendmasters were just predicting the future there. And we've got a lot of really nice paint and details going on here. The Empire State Building is nicely detailed. Not too much paint going on there, but The Empire State Building really doesn't have too much color going on to it until at night, at least. Up next, we have the Chrysler Building with a nice silver metallic paint job going on. Very, very nicely done, as per the Trendmasters norm. And then up next, we have the Citicorp Building, which is bland potatoes. And then we have the World Trade Center buildings over here, which will be conjoined at the base, and they are finely detailed as well. Oh yeah, I forgot this was removable. We have the Statue of Liberty, which will be a centerpiece for Godzilla. We'll get into that in a bit. And the detail on something this friggin' small is nothing but praisable. Good on you, Trendmasters. You can almost make out a face on there. Little bit. Tiny bit. Not all that much. Shut up, Rob. And then finally we have Godzilla with metallic silver paint for his dorsal fins, a dark green for his skin, piercing red eyes, bone yellow for the teeth and nails, and yeah, Godzilla's mouth is a little on the rough side, but again, something this small with this kind of paint on it is wow. Very big wow. Got a bit of a schmutz on his tail over there. But hey, yo, just the fact that you can make out some tiny details on this little thing is very impressive. Now, this part of the set is removable because these things were kind of advertised as you can take them anywhere, so you can actually hide all the pieces in Godzilla's skull, which we will look at in a second. But the paint and detail going on here is fantastic. Some of it is, like this over here, is a little on the dated side, but everything else, wow, that looks great. It kind of looks like burnt lasagna has been strewn about everywhere, but I'm not going to judge. This thing's older than most of you watching this. On the back, nothing too crazy. And now we're going to hide everything in Godzilla's skull. So obviously, this plate is removable. It opens up there. You can toss in all of the little tiny pieces in there, which is something I do recommend doing if you're going to be, bringing that anywhere. I do believe the cave piece over here will fit into Godzilla's mouth. There we go. This will fit back into place, and then you just close it up like so. The paint and detail on Godzilla's giant friggin' head over here is very, very well done. Some nice translucent red eyes. Some bone yellow for the teeth. Not too much else going on paint-wise, but the dark green mixed with a lighter green over here is a very nice touch. And again, the detail is fantastic. And yeah, you'll be able to see inside over here. This is one of the reasons why I lost so many of the pieces as a kid, because I was an idiot and I put the pieces in there. But thankfully, this is the exact same set that I had as a kid, so it's been reborn.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $300. Yeah.
So as far as paint and detail goes, I am going to give this 2 solid stars. It looks fantastic, even from 1994. Trendmasters, head of the curve. They were the friggin' curve for Godzilla toys, because nobody else was doing this at that point in time. So now the only other thing left to do is to get everything set the hell back up and then go over all the little play features we have. Statue of Liberty goes here, and Godzilla goes, right here. Now, the little play feature for Godzilla and the Statue of Liberty here is that you would be able to spin Godzilla all around and knock down any buildings that you set up for him in his path. So let's just demonstrate that now. Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, and the Citicorp Building, if it'll stay up at all. Sit. Citicorp. There we go. So let's just give this a spin. Oh yeah, knocking down the buildings. Godzilla destroy all monsters melee. Yeah. Yes, for anybody wondering, I was as simple back then as I am today. This was the coolest little thing that you could have ever given to me as a kid. Just spinning Godzilla all the way around like this, knocking down buildings. It was so cool. So now we're just going to redress this. Now let's try and get Rodan's little gimmick to work. As you can see, Rodan's got a little loophole back here. That is meant for this little piece of string. So we're going to attempt to get that through Rodan's loophole back. There we go. So the main thing about this was it was supposed to be like a flying gimmick for Rodan. I could never really get this to work as a kid, so let's see if it's any different today. Yeah. Go, Rodan. Yeah! Okay, so it's not the best working gimmick in the world. Let's give that another try. Let's try a little bit angled down this way. So go, Rodan, go! Okay, there we go. Yeah, so he's not going to be attacking the city per se, but he can fly around it. Let's try over here. Go, Rodan. Yeah, knock down a building. Okay, this is actually working. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm 30 years old and I'm playing with a micro battle playset meant for ages 4 and up. A wise man in a funny movie once said, "Never lose your dinosaur," and I don't plan on losing my dinosaur anytime soon. This is fun. I like this. My favorite thing about this set was that there really wasn't any right or wrong way to play with it. I mean, yeah, Godzilla always had to be at the center because he was the only one with a hole in his foot, but you could take these monsters and these buildings anywhere. Like maybe Godzilla wanted to bring the Empire State Building with him underwater. You could do that. It's perfectly fine. Trendmasters had a hell of an imagination behind them, and they gave kids with an even bigger imagination free reign to just do whatever the hell they want with this. And honestly, even as a 30-year-old giant kid, this is a lot of fun, and I'm actually really enjoying making this video. So, the Godzilla vs. Rodan in New York City micro battle playset from Trendmasters is going to get another solid star for its gimmick, playability, all that stuff. I think this is a lot of fun, and it would be really cool to see Playmates do something like this in the current day. Now let's move on over to size comparisons. Trendmasters were the damn trendsetters. Beautifully painted and detailed pieces with a, well, dated, fun little way to play and display. I miss this kind of stuff, man. Hell, I just miss Trendmasters overall. Had they survived the flood of 1998, I don't doubt the possibility of them staying tight with Toho and still working on the IP today. Honestly, the thought of them working on the MonsterVerse stuff, Shin Godzilla, the anime trilogy, and Godzilla Singular Point, plus everything that came before it after 1998 is just a beautiful, beautiful fever dream of what could have been. I don't doubt that their standards and practices probably would have changed with the times, but I still do think they would probably be doing a better job than, let's say, Playmates are these days. Oh, Trendmasters, you are too good to us. I can only imagine what horrors would have unfolded if Trendmasters was still around making stuff for the current day Godzilla things. Can you imagine a Shin Godzilla micro battle playset? I can. Anyway, I have been ShinRobjira. I do so hope you enjoyed this little throwback review. And if you would like to see me tackle more Trendmasters stuff, whether I've talked about it or not, please let me know, because I've been dying to get some Trendmasters stuff. The prices have been kind of climbing it up the last 5 years or so, so that's a bit of an issue, but if you guys want it, I will make the time for it. Hopefully Bandai will let me do that too. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, check out my social media and Patreon, $1 a month, access to everything, early content and then some. And when next we meet, I have no idea what I'll be talking about next because I don't even know when this video is coming out. I mean, I know it's coming out this month in October, but that's all I do know. So, until next time, see you there. Peace.